Flight boss, bitch, you know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of an Antares Moon. I'm the Archangel Uriel, and I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. And right now, we're gonna talk about something. Now, shout out to you. I just remembered your name, because I want to start doing shout outs for people who may give me ideas for videos on the comments and through the emails. But this one stood out to me right here. What happens after you die? Now, we're going to have to set some things in perspective before we even get into the program and your concept of how you think about dying. Now, right now, we're in a realm of reality and a density where we think dying is a form of... We brought separation into a form of density that we can experience. So that when we experience death, which when I say we, when someone died that's around you, that's just a representation of something dying with inside you. And you experiencing it in in a lower frequency and a lower density, to the point that you're up under so many beings that created so many constructs, and since they are the intellectual owners of that property, when you think about death, it's under their construct. So since you're looking at something that's internal, externally, you're going to start experiencing it. Once you do birth, life, death over and over again, you're gonna bring it into density to so much to the point you start to experience it in a reality. Now, so we're in a form of reality right now that you can experience someone outside of you dying. I'm from a realm of reality where it's looked at as something died within me. So how I look at it as Archangel Uriel, someone around me dies, that means a part of me died inside. It is really not the actual person, but sometimes I have to play that part since I made myself in this frequency density. But enough about me. I'm finna give you the actual concept so you can get the understanding of what happens. Now, it's the here go the sequence of 3 again. It's birth, life, death. Birth is the gas, the space. Life is the fluid. Is the fluid, the liquid, the water, and death is the I thought somebody was coming in. Okay, and death is the transformation of the physical to solid of it. You know what I'm saying? So what happens here is birth, life, death. So life deals with the experience. That's why it's fluid, because that's point B. You had to get from point A to point B, then point B to point C. C is going to play death. Then it goes around again. So you have a time frame where people is trying to make things linear, to the point that everything is so linear, your life becomes linear. But that's another video. We're going to talk about what happens after you die. Now, and to get a concept of heaven and hell is in the same place. So that's a program. Whoever made you think hell is down, heaven is up, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and third. Now, the only way you can express it in this realm of reality is if you're saying look up and down and stuff like that, because that's under someone's program and under someone's construct. And now it made heaven and hell external. So now people think these are actual places you can go externally, to the point that people are bringing that into density and manifesting those realms of reality, to the point that when they actually die, they actually go to these places that they manifested for themselves due to the program that they was in, and whatever that intellectual property of that being could control or created for that paradigm. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be careful. See, it's a lot of shit I gotta break down before I actually get to what happens at the death part. You know what I'm saying? Before we could get an actual understanding. So for actual understanding, hell and heaven is the same place. You're all in it. Now, there's different realms of realities within this same place, and there's 9 dimensions within it all, and within each 9, in which each of 9 dimensions, there's millions of spheres of realities. Like, for an example, the first dimension, that's the singularity. So anytime you're being selfish, you're playing in the first dimension realm. So there's a lot of fears of realities that comes with selfishness, like ego, only thinking about yourself, not thinking about others. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of paradigms and fears of realities that you could just jump into. When you jump into those fears of realities, you start to create 9 dimensions in those fear of realities, and you becoming your own world. You know what I'm saying? That's another video. But we're going to get to what happens after death. Marissa, is that kitchen light on? Is the kitchen light on? Oh, yeah, it's on. Okay. All right. Now, when you talk about, as far as, now, it's birth, life, then death. Then it comes back around. Now, it's important to know what you're doing right now, on this earth right now, because your life depends on it. You're here to hate certain things. You're here to learn some things. And you have to evaluate where you've been to know where you're going. So I'm going to explain how you know what you just came from, how you got into the form you in now, and where you're going to go once you die off and then have to experience the birth, life, and death again. So here's what happens. After you died in a previous life, you was born again. Now, if you're a human, right, that means you have elevated to a certain degree. You have experienced a lot of lower processes of lives already, right? So you get born, right? That's the gas. Then you have to experience, right? That's the time, the fluid, your wave in this consciousness realm we in, right? And then when it's time to transform your energy again, that's when you die off in that physical realm or that density that you was in, right? Now, when a person pass on, when they die, their soul carries all the experiences, because it's your moon sign. This is why you don't remember everything. You only remember the stuff that impacted your life. This is why when you was a kid, you only remember the things that impacted you emotionally. Like your first time getting hurt, your first time getting a bike, your first kiss, you know what I'm saying? A lot of things that impact you, that you felt and had an emotion behind. Now you're connected to that time, because time don't really exist in this realm of reality. You know what I'm saying? In this realm of reality, they're making it like a point from a line, but it's fluid, it's curvage, it's not a straight line. So whatever this consciousness being trying to create time in this realm of reality is not even true. This is why when you sleep, you don't remember. When you wake up, you don't remember laying down for all those hours. You sleep, you go into your yin realm. When you wake up, you remember what you did in your yin realm. You don't remember actually laying down for 6 hours. You had to get up and be like, damn, oh yeah, I was asleep, so I must have been laying down for 6 hours. You don't actually remember laying down for 6 hours. You see what I'm saying? So when you dream, this is why you remember that, because it deals with your emotions and your feelings, your soul, your moon sign. You know what I'm saying? So when you die, this physical form always going to transform. That's just like ice melting. You know what I'm saying? This always a tree burning. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's the concrete lava melting volcano. The earth. You know what I'm saying? This is always going to transform. So this is why you know this is real, but it has to transform. So this is how you know it's not you. It's just what you appear to be. So it's you. It's just the physical representation of, look, your soul, which is your moon sign, the way you feel your emotions. That's the lower density, the lower frequency, almost, you can say, the physical representation of your spirit. Because it starts with your spirit, your space, your idea. That's your spirit. Your spirit. Now your soul is the representation of that. Then your body is the physical representation of that, of both of those, of your soul. So you see how it trickled down? Is your spirit. You had the idea. You was thought of an idea. When both of your parents had sex and the originator, and they had space, they both got their own space within a space. Then when they joined both of their spaces together, they joined both of their energies to create a new space, which they only had that opportunity from the one true space, right? So you already was an idea from the true space, right? Then you became of multiple feelings and emotions and ideas out of your two parents, right? So now they had the idea when they had sex. They had the lust for each other. They had that all that is creating your idea, even if you wasn't thought of. All those moments of events was you as the spirit orchestrating that in order for you to have a vessel to come through. So I don't give a fuck if somebody your mother or your father. Just because you connected with somebody blood-wise, that don't mean they're your real fucking family. It's important to know your soul group. It's important to know your twin flames and your spirit and your spiritual soul groups out here, because that's your true family. Just because you have vessel, just because you have a cousin, just because you have a brother, just because you have a sister, nephew, niece, mother, father, grandpa, grandmother, those could be your fucking enemies in the past life. See what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. But some are here because that's how other beings who may have hated you, y'all may have been arch enemies in a past life, and they may have found a way to attack you in this life. Or you may have found a way to attack them in their life. So y'all both doing that shit. It's just when you come here in this physical form, related to the density and where you came at, is how much you remember. And how much you remember is how consciously aware you are. That's how you know how many times you've been here. But let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the idea. Those events that happen when your father or your mother met each other, the situations that was in, that was you orchestrating. That's the idea. That was your idea. When they actually had sex, they start to feel. They feel for each other, emotions in it, and having sex and the joining of energies. That created both of their souls joining. That created your soul now. Two energies joining to create a new one. Now both of their pieces became you. So the idea of you now is the soul. Remember what I said? Is the spirit, the soul is the manifestation of the idea of the spirit. Then the manifestation of the physical form of the soul is your body. You know what I'm saying? This is why you got fluid running through you. This is why 90% of your body is of water. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Let's get it. You know what I'm saying? Now look. Now, when now you are in the stomach, you are in the womb, you are in the yin, and you have to be there for 9 months. 9 dimensions. Know what I'm saying? Then when you add, then the only ones that's added, but added from God itself, that he gave control over his lower self, which you can say aka the devil, but it's this God that he gave power to his lower self, which is all of us. And that's 10, 11, 12. Because it's still a 360. So it's 9 dimensions, then it start over. But when it start over, it's under the 9 dimensions, then it can only go to 1, 2, and 3. And that's 10, 11, 12. You see what I'm saying? And then that's it. There's no 13 and all that shit. That's super added shit. That's God and his lower self. Then it's something lower than God trying to create something to be like that. And not even be like God trying to be that guy. You see what I'm saying? There's levels to this shit. Meek Mill was right when he made that song. He might not know what he was really talking about, but his spirit knew. It's levels to the shit. Levels to the shit, huh? Alright, now look. Now, when you in the womb 9 months, that's the 9 dimensions of experiences. So people who are born a little early, a lot of times, they didn't go through the full cycle of the 9 dimensions of experience. So they may be lacking dimensional wisdom here, but that don't mean they're not functional beings. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it may play out physical, but not all the times. But sometimes it may play out physical, like the baby may have a birth defect or can't hear straight or something like that, because it's lacking something from a dimensional. So one of the senses may play out fucked up, but for the most part, they still can live amongst us humans. It's just something they may have did in the past that they have to experience that. But for the most part, it's 9 months. You know what I'm saying? Which is the 9 dimensions. Now, you went through the 9 dimensions of experiences through the womb. Now you're brought into density. All those experiences and weight added. The mother get bigger, adds weight, density, boom. Now, you're here. You have a full form. Now you're brought into physical. So the day that you actually come out the womb, that's when the light came from and hit you from the yin, from you coming out of the yin, getting ready to be seen by the yang, and that creates and manifests how you're gonna appear to look. That's why you got a rising sign. That's why you got a sun sign. The way you act. You know what I'm saying? And then you're coming from your moon sign. You see what I'm saying? So now you have a soul. Now you have a consciousness awareness, which is your sun sign. Now you have a subconsciousness awareness, which is your moon sign. Now you have a spiritual awareness, which is your rising sign. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? You're able to be out physical. So that's how the birth, life, death works. Now I'm finna explain to you so you get out of the realm of reality about the death. Now, when you actually die, and when you was born again, like I said, since the fluid, your soul, your moon sign, The soul part is the time and the experience, which is the life part, which you finna experience. You're experiencing now in life. Everything you experiencing now, you carry that with you when this flesh die, and then your energy get transmuted. Energy can't be destroyed. It can only be reiterated. You know what I'm saying? Recreated. You know what I'm saying? So when it's time for you to have another idea and another soul to get manifested, here's what happens. Your soul carrying all the aspects and experiences it had in the previous life. So to know what you actually previously was, look at some of the traits that you do now and compare it to certain animals, compare it to certain bugs, compare it to certain, for an example, you have a lot of greedy people here. You have a lot of pigs that's like a lot of people, like a lot of greedy people that's just want everything for themselves, whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? This or a person who eat a lot of pork. If a person who eat a lot of pork or whatever like that, when they soul is experiencing it, all that, when they was in their life, when they die and come back, they may get transformed into an actual pig. Because look, they say you are what you eat, right? You can eat whatever you want. Look, vegetarian, fruitarian, a solar, with all that shit, you can do what the fuck you want. You just have to do it in moderation. And if something is affecting your body, you know it's affecting your body. So if you eat something that's affecting your body, you should know not to eat that thing. But that don't mean discount all those things that's around that. It may be another type of thing you can eat in that way. You just have to know yourself. Know thyself. Long that you know thyself, you'll be all right. But know not to overindulge. But here's what happens. Like, say, for an example, you may eat a certain thing here. You may eat a lot of sunflower seeds or something like that. What animal can you tie to that eat a lot of sunflower seeds now? A bird, right? So by you having the same taste buds as a bird, 9 times out of 10, you may have been a bird in a previous lifetime. For an example, you may have had certain dreams about getting ate by something or getting chased by something real big, whatever like that. That means you was something real small. You're receiving the experience of something that you was. You may was an ant. You may was something like that. You was in a lower vibration, lower density. Took you way more experiences to get from point A to point B to point C. Everything was more harsh, more impactful, more feelings and emotions and things, more actions it took for things to get more a spiritual inclination. That's what, the more separate, the more in a lower density you are, the faster you know how to come up with coming all together as one again. You know what I'm saying? The more separation you experiencing, the more hell you in, the faster you know how to all come together as one again to rise up. The more experiences the higher up you go, the more lesser experiences you feel, and the lesser the lesser you feel with the experiences, like less experiences and less things to do and stuff like that, the more you're gonna want to feel separate and get amongst others and not be lonely. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's everything in the same place. It's just wherever your soul and your spirit at. So when you die, this is why when you jump into a physical form, like, okay, you was a dinosaur. But since you in this physical form right now, you don't even know how it would be to live like that type of form. Because you're only in here. So you're not going to remember it like that, because in this density they're trying to make you think too left brain, to you know what I'm saying, make you think everything to a logical degree and make you base everything on time to the point that you can't even come up with the concept. But what happens here is you only remember it because of the experience and the feelings. That's why it may play out through dreams. It may play out through things that you eat, things that you like to do. People who are into gymnastics, who like to flip, do a lot of flips and shit. What do we see do a lot? What kind of shit on earth we see do a lot of flips and do shit now? Monkeys. So 9 times out of 10, they come from a monkey tribe. You have a lot of parasites. People who are in politics, people who like to do a lot of politics, they're ticks. They like to suck the blood out of people. What is blood relative to? The soul, the emotions and the feelings. So they like to make people feel certain things. So when you watch Fox News or watch news channels, what they do? Push fear markers, push things on your conscience, make you feel certain things, make you put emotional boxes on certain things. That's giving them energy in order to manifest and control what they want the society to be like. You see what I'm saying? Politics. So if a tick is going to suck your blood, metaphysically, that's something sucking your fluid. So if metaphysically your fluid is your soul, and if we know in astrology or tying it to anything in this density, your soul is related to your emotions and your feelings and your moon sign, then if you got beings out there energy vamping you, sucking your neck, they're sucking your see, this is another thing. You have them fake conscious people out here, right? And then when you say something like a politics, right, and say the ticks, they suck in your blood, right, and then they want to disagree with you when you say something like that. But when you say something like, oh, there's such thing as energy vampires, then they want to know all about that, but they can't even know how both of these is the same thing. Don't talk to those kind of people. Because look, they can explain to you all day how energy vampire, what they do. They drain your energy. They suck your inspiration. They drain you dry. They make you not even feel like doing anything anymore. They always attacking your emotions and your feelings, right? That's an energy vampire, right? If a politics suck your blood, then they doing the same thing. How can you argue with me when if you turn on the news channel, that's what the fuck they doing? They're beating on your emotions and your feelings. They're not trying to make you think anything logically, because if anybody use their brain or use their gas, use their space of room of opportunity, use their idea, use their spirit, anybody with common sense can decipher what the fuck they doing. And if they was affecting your physical, which is the way you act and the way your actions, you might be too busy at work to do things to even give that any attention. You know what I'm saying? So before they can even affect your actions and the way you act, they have to affect the way you feel and your emotions. Then that kickstart and make you want to act on voting. Make your actions want to go debate, make your actions part of wanting to debate with people at work about why this president this and why this Senate seat should be this and why this. You don't know shit. Know what I'm saying? So it all ties and relate. You know what I'm saying? Your soul, your soul, your emotions, you already the idea. So since you're here, you know you're the idea. So now you know you always been here. You always been here. Just like God. You always been an idea. Because you're here now. So that don't mean that you wasn't here before and you here now, and when you die you're going to not be before. You always been here. That's the spirit. That's your space. Your space within the space. The idea. Because you're here now. You're able to listen. You're here. You're the idea. So you always been here. Don't ever think you never been here just because you couldn't remember before you was born and just because you can't remember shit after you died. There is no life after death. There is no death. Then you become external within a death realm of reality. Which on some real shit, it might be now. The way y'all motherfuckers is living out here, it might be now. And that's a place I am not going. And I don't ever want to go there. You feel me? But for the sake of argument, that don't even exist. God gonna make sure you always come back around. I don't care how many times you have to come back and experience this and how many low densities you have to experience this shit. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, your soul, you know what I'm saying, is going to carry all the experiences and the wisdom. So when you find another vessel and set up another situation, set up another macabre, set up another circle that you could place in a square, that means you set up another situation that you could jump in through, aka being ideas in other people's, working from that realm. Because when you die, you go back to that realm. You're not physical, so you're able to see things how you used to see it and organize situations. That's how I used to control things. I used to create macabres. I used to create circles. I used to create chakras. I used to create wheels. And I used to have a space, made my own, created a big old space within my space, and created little wheels in that space, right? And within those spaces, I might make this space love, make this space hatred, make this space vulnerability, make this space willpower, make this space passion. You know what I'm saying? And then have an idea, get our emotions and feelings about it, then create a bunch of souls that jump into these realms. What's up, mommy?
Play the game.
Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna let you know when I'm done. As soon as I'm done. Now, create a lot of circumstances within those situations, right? Then once that happens, right? Whatever souls drive into whatever each of those, I can learn from them situations and see the benefits that they get out of them. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm able to look at it. Now you did this. Now you was able to control the ideas and the feelings and the thoughts of others. What made your idea come into fruition again? You're supposed to do that on Earth now, but once humans get here, they forget for some strange reason. So, you know what I'm saying? Once, because you're the idea. You can't say you didn't do that because you're here. I don't give a fuck if you remember you did it or not. You here. You know what I'm saying? You could go somewhere and say, I didn't ask to be here, all the fuck you want. You here. So, you had the idea to come here. No one else had the idea but you. You see what I'm saying? So, you're here to learn. Each density that you come into, you're here to learn. And if you're human right now, you accomplish a lot of densities, but it's a lot of densities you didn't go through yet. So you're actually in hell to a lot of beings, but you're actually in heaven to a lot of beings. It's all in the same place. It's just point of view, and your point of view is based on what realm of reality and what density you came back in, and that depends on what kind of ideas and how you was living and whatever experience you was in. You know what I'm saying? Which the soul is going to carry all that. So you elevated to a certain degree as a human, but you downgraded to a certain degree too at the same time. So here's what happens. You know what I'm saying? Now, how you living now, that's really depends on you really knowing. You know what I'm saying? That depends on how you know. You know what I'm saying? Because in a previous life, the shit that you're doing now, you have to tie that to, okay, while I'm doing that now, tie to what animal, what bug, or what outer thing out here. Say you're a person that you like to get high a lot. You might have been a bird. You know what I'm saying? You like to fly, but you know what I'm saying? You don't know how to. You don't. The only way you can do that in this density is through other things because you're in a human frequency, a human density. Now, based upon how you live right now, is going to determine where you actually going. So each density you come in, you're here to learn. Right now, you're elevating yourself right now because you're getting a lot more ideas, a lot more knowledge. It's making you feel a lot more different ways. You're getting different emotional ways about it, and you're putting it into action. Things that you're learning, you're acting on it and putting it into action out here and speaking about it and stuff like that. So that can only elevate you. So when you die and come back, you're going to be in a better situation than you are now. It's like you pick the situation that you in. Like, see, I know you really want me to make a video about, or whoever watching this video. I know you want really waiting for me to be like, well, you're not explaining what happens after death. But I am. It's like, it's just your concept of death is wrong. There's really, the way you're looking at death is not that. It's not death. Like death is beautiful. Like, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have been here right now if I didn't die at some point in time. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's no better way to explain it. You know what I'm saying? Being scared of death and being all that, I don't know nothing about that, so I can't really dive into realms of realities of how it would look if I had died, because I don't have any scared or fear understanding about death. Death is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't have been here right now if I didn't, you know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, that's what it is. Like certain people have certain concepts around death because they either scared to die or they have this concept about death because of how they was raised or due to what religion they was in. And it's a whole program that you're under about death, and then when you witness somebody die, the feelings and the emotions that you had for this person, and you're not able to share it with them again, and the level of programming under that is even crazy, to the point that the only way that it satisfies somebody in this density to talk about what happens after life after death, I would have to tell you a concept of what happens after death, and it has to have something to do with fear or something like I really don't give a fuck about that. So it's like I can't even explain it to you that way. This is the best way I can. You know what I'm saying? But you know,